KM Radio, it's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, the sports book every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. KM Radio. Just go onto your browser, look up KM Radio, press play, and we are everywhere you want to be. Lots of great playoff NHL, NBA. Lots to talk about in the NBA. As far as the NHL, got a couple good series going on. You got the Ducks and Golden Knights. They're tied 2-2. Avalanche and Wild. Colorado leads at 2-1. The Sabres lost Sunday night to the Canadiens. They're down 2-1. And the Hurricanes have already found their way into the championship round. They beat the Flyers 4-0. Made for an easy swap. They're going to be well rested, whoever they play against, whether it be the Canadians or the Sabres. Let's see, the overs have been good. All right, let's go to the NBA. Lots to talk about in the NBA. Everything you kind of said about the Lakers, even with the points. I had the Lakers one night, 18 points. They couldn't even cover that.
They are
outmanned.
Outmanned. DeAndre Ayton plays like he has 2-inch arms. Can't hold the ball. Can't. Yeah, I don't understand it, but yeah, I think the Lakers are cooked. I did give them, second round. I said, they'll make it to the second round.
You did.
Hey, so,
we never said they could win this. We said they might be able to win one or two.
Right.
Do you think we overestimated the Lakers and underestimated the Thunder, which I don't think, because we know how good the Thunder is.
Right.
Or maybe we didn't realize how good the Thunder really was. I don't know if that's really the
it's
case.
Just the Thunder.
But they seem to be moving in a they seem to be moving at a whole different pace.
Yeah, they're moving at a different pace, and it's like you're playing against two teams. It doesn't matter what rotation he puts in, they go in, they know they roll, and they execute. Needless to say, of course, with Luka being out, that's 75% of the firepower. He's not estimated to even try to play any basketball until like the conference finals. So, it was a done deal.
Yeah.
It was a done deal with that anyway. So I guess because they're not going to win this series, I've already came to the conclusion of that. There's no coming back. They don't have the firepower or the depth or the basketball experience to come back. LeBron can't do it by himself, and some of the players that we have on the team don't live up to, what they claim that their basketball status is. So, it was a good run. We'll see what happens next season. I'm throwing in the towel. I know there are other Laker fans that, you could get at me in the comments or whatever. I'm just a guy, and I know when I've been beaten. So
so game one was 108-90. Okay. Game two was 127-107. Game three was 131-108. I mean, so the Lakers could score against them. It wasn't that they couldn't score. From what I watched, it seemed like OKC just came out, took over the game, and then at some point put it on coast. And that's where the Lakers made up a lot of points, not taking anything away. Like I said, I mean, OKC is, holy cow. They're on a mission. And they definitely,
Yeah.
Yeah, lightning
Lightning quick
quick.
on
They
both sides of the court. It's like
yes,
once they miss the rebound, they're back. When the ball gets pushed up, they're halfway back down on the court. So
yeah,
it's the commitment to execution that makes them a very dominant force. It's gonna be very interesting to see if they can make it all the way back. If San Antonio pulls it off against the Wolves, that's going to be a very interesting conference finals to see.
yeah. We're going to get to that series. So let me ask you a question before we get off the Lakers. Is this
Uh,
LeBron's last? Is this LeBron's last year?
hmm. That's hard to say. It's hard to say because of course there's speculation out there. He want to go play with Steph, or he's going back to Cleveland with Harding and Donovan Mitchell, and there's rumors out there, but I don't think he wants to leave LA. Bronny's there. The kids there. Everybody loves where they are. And plus, he still has his production coming in, things of that nature. Is it? I'm not
Right, right,
sure.
right, right there.
I'm not sure what to say about that because the tone feels like the Lakers are not. They don't really want to. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say this. It's probably a hot take. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about how lackluster everything is about him leaving. Normally there's like a tour or something that you do,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but
That's right.
yeah, but nobody knows because it looks like he can still play another 2 3 years. But yeah, it's a lot of basketball, so it wears on you. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I
So
don't
I
think he want to
want.
go. I don't think he want
So
to
I,
go anywhere though.
no, I don't think he does neither. But I don't know if he's playing just to play, just to pad the record books. Does he really think that they have a shot of winning? I mean, at some point you have to wonder: does he really think they have a shot of winning? I don't
Yeah.
know, and he knows basketball better than almost any human. So I mean, I think he has a real answer in his head,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I mean, him going to Golden State. That sounds great, but does that really put a championship team? Does that put a
Right.
championship team in Golden State? If he does go to Cleveland, let's see how we'll get to their. Does that change anything?
Hmm.
At this point in his career, that's another thing that you have to. You just kind of put it all into perspective and seeing where he's. I mean, it's definitely not money. I
Yeah.
mean, it's. I mean, it's just. I mean, he's putting up more numbers, making the
Yeah.
records even harder and harder to beat. So
Yeah.
you
And
just
he's
guess
very
what.
no, I was about to say, and um he's very adaptive. That's what his basketball IQ is high, so he's very adaptive. In other words, he'll play what role he needs to play to get the W. So he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands all the time. He could be that point forward, or he could be that guy off the ball, freeing up other people. So that's the good thing about LeBron that I love is his basketball IQ, his awareness, and the fact that whatever role you put him in, he plays it without ego or any of that. Just, the best play to get the point or win the game.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see what I guess what he wants to do, family, business. I mean, he's at a point of his career where it's definitely he knows that he can go on for another 20 years, but
Hmm.
I'm sure he's got plenty of plans. Now, this next series, yeah. So the Timberwolves, beating Denver, really surprised, really surprised. Was a little surprised at that. But this is a really good team. They beat the Spurs the first night, 104-102. I was like, oh, okay, they're in for one. Game two, the Spurs come out and just spank them, 133-95. And it's like, okay, Spurs made Spurs made a statement, um, dominated every aspect. Game Game three, tight game. The final was 115, 108. Um, the Spurs. These teams line up well against each other. This
Hmm.
is a tight game four. Minnesota 114 to 109. Um, heck of a game.
Hmm.
Now it's 2-2.
Yes.
Uh, so it could go either way. I think if the Timberwolves get by San Antonio,
Hmm.
oh wow, because I San Antonio, San Antonio and OKC is a
Yeah, those are
with
the two
well,
juggernauts of the West.
right. But
Those
if
are the two
Minnesota,
teams you got to go to. Yeah, but yeah,
yeah, but
go
if
ahead. Go ahead.
Minnesota, I'm saying if Minnesota can pull this off with the way they've been playing, I give them a shot of beating OKC. I give them a shot. They have a legitimate shot. Um, I mean, they've been playing really, really good. Both teams have been playing really good defense,
Hmm.
and offensively. I mean, it's been like I said, it's been a lot on this series, and I really think at this point, I think got to San Antonio's got to take a charge on this, got to take a lead and take total control. Right now, I thought they had total control going into um, going into Game Four, but it kind of made me look like wow, they won two in a row.
Hmm.
Um, but this is going to be a really good series, and I think you could get. Let me see what we could pull up. All right, let's do. And what's crazy, and here's the crazy part is you've been able to get Minnesota plus some serious points. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
um, tomorrow night. I mean, the next time they play, Minnesota is getting 10 points. And if you look at these
Hmm.
games, there was only one game where they got. I mean, that was game two. I mean,
Right.
they lost by 38. But game
Hmm.
one, three, and four, 10 points gotcha. You know what I mean? 10 points gotcha.
Hmm.
Money line is paying 328, and that's a heck of a bet because
Wow.
Minnesota's already proved they could beat them. I mean, that's
Hmm.
that's some legitimate, and that's how it's been this whole series. It's
Hmm.
really kind of crazy. And the money line on the Spurs is minus 430. So there's no action on minus 430. You're just throwing money out the window. Um,
Right.
and now you can get the Spurs minus 10 at minus 110, and then you could get Minnesota plus 10 at minus 110. But the money line is to me is the action because they have a legitimate shot of because I really think this one's probably going to go 7, which
Hmm.
in turn may have a factor going against OKC because OKC is about to end their deal, rest up. Not saying that they need it, but
Right.
they're going to get a lot of time off. They'll probably get a
Hmm.
week off, maybe a little bit long, maybe more like 8 days,
Yeah.
because if it goes 7, uh, yeah, they could easily get 8 to 9 days.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about off. And the Lakers are going to get 2 or 3 days off. And I'm sorry, not the Lakers. Um, OKC is going to get,
Hmm.
you know, they're going to get 8, 9 days off. Whoever wins Minnesota's the Spurs probably 2, 3 days. And I know there's been some bumping, and I mean, there's been some injuries. And they get bruised up. So this is going to be a huge factor for whoever has to go and play OKC because OKC is going to
Hmm.
be fresh. Um,
Yeah.
there's absolutely no doubt in my mind they're going to be
Right.
fresh
Hmm.
NBA. Um, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Our
Absolutely.
next series, yeah, our next series is Cavaliers, Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
Pistons lead. Piston leads the series 2-1. The Cavaliers um, I mean, they've looked good. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they haven't got smoked. It ain't like they got, oh man, they just, just beat up
Right.
on them or anything. I mean, the Cavs are there. Um, Everybody's playing well. Uh, Game one was 111, 101, lost by 10. Game two, lost by lost by 11. Um, and then they won, 116, to kind
Mm-hmm.
of give them, now it's 2-1. Uh, and there for a second, I thought maybe Detroit was having some problems with being a young team, not having the experience. But it seems like they've gotten themselves together. Um, they've got their woosah. They're calm. They're playing a lot calmer now. They're um, not real. They're not playing anxious and making bad decisions. I mean, what's your thoughts on the Cavaliers? Do you think they can pull it together? I mean, they have some. I mean, they definitely have talent. There's no doubt about
Mm-hmm.
that. But what is your thought process on the Cavaliers trying to win this series?
That they're gonna have to score points and not rely on the three as much. And I know it's hard because that's the way these guys play nowadays. But they're gonna have to get inside of that 3-point line, and work those 15, those 17 footers. Those are the ones that get you points. Anytime a team gets up by 10, the team that's underneath always feels the need that every time they get a fast break, that they got to rush down to the other end of the court and shoot a three. But
Right.
you could go down and you can knock a 10-point down, a 10-point lead down real quick. Get those twos. Points matter when you're down, especially with the deficit that Cleveland had. Now, kudos for them for bouncing back because I thought that Detroit was just going to run the table. So kudos to Cleveland for, digging in and bouncing back and winning that game. But yeah, I think they may got one more in them, but it's gonna have to be at home.
Right. True.
And
True that.
and I don't know. It seems like Detroit's a different team with Embiid on the court, even though Embiid is the guy that could get them the most points. But it seems like it's different when he's on the court as opposed to when he's not. Because I think
Okay.
they can run the type of transition game that they like to play.
Yeah, I like I said, if the Pistons last year with the early exit, um, and this year, they had a little hard time in the first round. But they're seemed like I said, it seems like they're shaking the cobwebs. They're shaking cobwebs. They're got their feet underneath them, as they say. I feel pretty confident the way they're playing. Like I said, not taking anything away from the Cavaliers. I just feel confident with the Pistons. Kind of they were rocky there for a second, and they got their win back. And from there, you got I mean, they're all possibilities. I believe the Pistons are going to win in six. That's my I think it will go six, and I think the Pistons will win 4-2. Now going to the Knicks, we were talking about Philadelphia. I said, maybe they could underestimate Philadelphia. Not so much. Not so much. Um, the Knicks. Hats off to the Knicks. Came in
Yeah.
and just handled. I mean, handled the Philadelphia. I mean,
Hmm.
there's no holy cow. Philly coming off of beating the Boston Celtics, that says a lot.
Hmm.
I know the
Yeah,
Celtics
that's
had
a
some.
good badge to wear. That's a good badge to wear because they was playing excellent basketball, especially when Jason Tatum came back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So all reality is, they're Philly looked really good, and I mean New York came in game one, 137-98. Woo, smoked them. You know what I mean? Lost by
Yeah.
40. Game two, a little bit closer. Sixers were in this one, 108-102. Game three, lost by 14. New York, you know, got them. Game four, 144-114, and the Sixers were never in this game. That
No,
score is
no.
closer than it makes it really believe what the actual score was. The outcome and the score is just kind of because New York came in this game dominated, um, and I mean it was Boston them. I mean they have a really good shot of going to the NBA Finals. I mean they really do. It
I
seems
agree.
like yeah, they're gelling at the right time of the season. Um, I mean that's important.
Now,
Standings.
now, do you think that because you got Mike Brown at the helm, do you think he's bringing a little bit of the sauce from other teams that where he coached at
Yeah,
because of the type of
absolutely.
lineup? Yeah, because of the type of lineup that he has, I think he's sprinkling a little sauce from because it works,
Yeah,
especially with Cat running point forward, so to speak.
right,
Let him bring the ball up, and now Jalen Brunson is off the ball, kind of like somebody we know that operates off the ball.
right,
Uh, work screens, get himself open for a shot. Sounds like a team we know about, don't
right, right,
it? So I think he's sprinkling a little bit of that sauce into their mix, and man, and then you get results like that. You know, because Carl Anthony Towns is effective. You know, when he's happy, he's got to get touches. He don't necessarily have to make every point, but he has to
right,
touch the ball in the offense. And man, they're doing an excellent job. Josh Hart's playing well. The whole team. My hats off, to the Knicks because they are definitely showing everybody that we're the top and we're going back to the conference finals and hopefully the NBA finals.
right, right. So they're already in the conference finals. They're waiting for the winners of the Pistons Cavaliers, which I think will be um, like I said, I'm predicting the Pistons in six. I think they're going to
Mhm.
keep their head together, and I think they're going to be able to. I think they're going to be able to squeeze it out. So covering all that, and and here's another one. If the Timberwolves do beat the Spurs, they're still going to be underdogs to against the Thunder, and you still might be able to make some money there because if I think they'll be able to win a game or two, and you never know. Like I said, with injuries. So in the NBA news, Washington Wizards they get Trey Young during the year. They got a
Mhm.
great center. Trey Young's injured. Still waiting to. He did come back, but still recovering. And now they won
Uh-huh.
the lottery, the number one lottery pick.
Mhm.
So just like that, the Washington Wizards could easily make a turnaround in the next couple years. I mean, they've kind of been the laughing stock of the league there for a while. But just like that, do you like the way they do? Do you like the way they do the lottery, or do you think they should do it more like the NFL, where worst record gets the first pick, second worst gets the second pick, or do you like the lottery?
I think they're trying to fix it, Tony. I'm with you. I like it the way that the NFL has it set up, but now I think that now that they're tightening the grip on the whole tanking thing, it
Yeah,
makes for interest. Yeah, it makes for an interesting draft, or an interesting lottery lineup because
right,
because remember back in the day, the Lakers won the NBA Finals and got the first round pick and drafted James Worthy. So
right.
you know, so things like that do happen. But I do
Well, that's.
think yeah. What's your opinion? Go ahead with your
I
opinion,
mean,
Tony.
what I was going to say was, if that, in order to have a good league, I think you gotta let the teams with the worst record get the better drafts
Yeah.
to try to otherwise you could hold a team down forever. If their
Mhm.
luck just didn't, they could just stink every year and they're never ever getting any kind of good draft choices. Or in the NFL, and that's not even a guarantee that but at least you have an opportunity. We've seen teams turn around. Miami got a bunch of first round a couple years
Mhm.
ago. They were in the mix. The
Yeah.
Titans, the Titans. You saw Carolina, just all these people with picks, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden they
All these
become
different teams. Yeah.
relevant. Yeah, it's this way. The across the league, you have a lot of good organizations.
Hmm.
It's just my thoughts. Like I said, if you just like you used, I know it was an extreme. The Lakers won the championship, and then they get the first round. I know it didn't happen on a regular, but when things like that
Right.
happen, that
It,
just
it, it was things
permanently,
like
yeah,
because it was just a
yeah,
random pick, and
right,
it's good for business when your bad teams
right.
are not that bad and can draw in crowds and draw in revenue. That's what they want. All of the owners want everybody to win, just not as much as me. But
Right,
we
right,
prefer
right, right.
everybody to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want
So
everybody
that's
to be
it's
able to draw some customers. You definitely want, I mean, you want them to have a good fan base. And
yeah.
yes, I think that's good for NBA as growing.
Hmm.
I think that's a huge factor. But all right, guys, we got another Tuesday night in the books. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Tony G, Big Lou. Again, reach out to us on our Facebook page, the Sportsbook or KM Radio. If you have any kind of local events that need to be announced, or you have any other stuff that you're trying to figure out what's going on in the city, hit the station up, hit us up, and the station stays locked in with the community. And like I said, this is a radio station that's all over the universe. You just all you gotta do is go to kmradio.com, pull it up, press play, and you can listen to us anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, actually. So that's pretty cool. All right, guys, I want to thank everyone again. Tony G, Big Lou, Sportsbook, KM Radio, where we go. Ham.